same time, he's going to be able to have a better time in the jungle with the speed, right, on this Karina. But now we're going to see these two kind of assassins duke it out in the jungle while the rest of the team kind of helps to support them with the pace.
Yeah, and at the same time, though, I feel like this adds even more pressure for Kufra, for Chaknu, here we go again, for Chaknu to actually land Tyrant's Revenges. But at the same time, for Omega, they don't need to rush things. They can play this at a slightly slower pace and play around the rotations of the Chak Mamba.
The question is, will TNC allow that? We're about to find out. Welcome to game number 2. Omega looking to bounce back, reset from that 10-minute victory by TNC. Confirmed, this is Cram on that weapons mastery grok with a sprint.
Oh, what's going on there? I mean, that is interesting. He's going to have quite a bit of damage in the wild charge.
Yeah, and it's that grok mechanic of with like every point of physical attack, he gets a bit of defense. So it's just him gonna be building physical damage items, and that makes him like a pretty formidable fighter with a good amount of damage and a great amount of tankiness.
Wow. So this time, they're actually going to focus on trying to counter SD, again, to not let him have a good start here. But where Ryzen on the Karina, like I said, will have a much better early game. This is a great point for Omega.
But I think the gambit that TNC is playing at is the fact that they are going to give Kelra hell in the early game. There's nothing he can do here, right? Look at Escalera staying in the gold lane with Yasuo, essentially babysitting him, acting as the roamer, because if I'm not mistaken, Bentings hasn't bought his roam item yet, so that's going to be a well farmed up Bentings in mid.
Yeah. Oh, I think it's Escalera rocking the roam.
Yes,
so,
yes.
Yeah, so it's Escalera, roam, Selena. Bentings is the one taking care of the mid lane. A slight adjustment there, and it will work out very well because they'll have access to the Wave the Dragon much sooner. First turtle fight might be too risky for Omega to actually take here, but let's see if TNC will put themselves in a good enough position, because already Ryzen went for the turtle, and SDZYZ, will he get his purple first or go for the turtle? Nope, we're going to see each other in the purple pit. Turtle
right now.
pit.
Yeah, the turtle pit indeed. Chaknu going to charge up here, looking for a moment. SD going to get knocked up. That's going to be quite a bit of damage here. SD's got to get out of there. Is able to survive, but the turtle's going to be secured here by Omega.
Already we're seeing the winds of change blow into the halls of SMX, because Omega, despite TNC, SDZYZ's efforts, still found a stranglehold onto that first objective, which is great because you want to trade out for what Kelra's going through. Can Chaknu save him? Or can Kelra even fire back? Oh, it looks like he does.
Oh, yeah, he does. He does take an arrow there, but good thing Chaknu came in time.
Yeah. In the other part of the map, as that was happening, actually Bentings tried to stop Ryzen from stealing away the purple buff of SDZYZ. We're going to have to check, though, if Ryzen was able to secure that. It's not in Bentings, so Ryzen stole the buff of SD. So now it's Ryzen on the Karina doing to SD what SD did to him in game number 1.
Yeah, man, like I said, he does not want to, you know, he's kind of showing him, hey, you gave me hell game 1, I'm going to return that to you for game number 2.
Man, Lancelot doesn't look like such a great pick anymore in the current metagame, especially in the sprint. Fun run meta, yeah, like as soon as you click that, you're out of range even for a fully puncture ready Lancelot. Like, he's forced to use the Phantom Execution to even get into range with you. That's how crazy sprint is now.
Yeah, I'm surprised too, because once again, Omega actually, just the way that they're playing, it's a lot better in the fact that they have more time to actually be successful in the early game instead of just waiting for that late game potential here.
But there's not even a single sprint on Omega. Now looking at it, they seem to be going back to the older meta to answer back what TNC is bringing right now. Let's look at the items.
Yeah. And now TNC, no full item yet for SD. Ryzen, see if he's going to go ahead straight and pick up that Cursed Helm, much closer there. Of 2-5 already in terms of the gold. Not yet 2K for SD, but he is getting close. I'm looking at the jungle items here.
Oh, Escalera actually going to land that arrow, but Max already using the black shoes here. Turtle's going to be up. Who's going to secure that one? Nice Tyrant's Rage! And they grab a kill here. Cram is taken out of the picture. Now the Turtle's going to be for the taking. Renzio trying to zone him out. Bentings still there. TNC actually just going to give this one away.
What a reset by Omega. It seems like it was pacing, timing, and yeah, a good mix of hero selection that got them down in game number 1. And here, all of a sudden, Ultra Instinct, Coach Pak bet mode going, all right, draft this, do this, pick this, and play this way. We'll get him. We'll play. They'll play at our time now. And it's so rare to see Omega be in control in the early game, but that's exactly what's happening here 5 minutes in.
Yeah, and I mentioned earlier with Kufra, Omega can or should play slow, play around the rotations of Chakno, and that's what they've been doing. It's a very slow game, only 1 kill, and that 1 kill came off of Chakno getting that pick off. Omega can continue this pace. They don't need to rush anything. Steadily go for the objectives in your own jungle, check if you can get a pick off, and that's one!
Wow, Chaknu, the Chak Mamba, but there's no connection there. That would have been an amazing play. Charges up with the flicker as well.
Love the respect both teams are putting on. Yes, Omega is ahead 2K. Yes, the key players from Omega have an item above their counterparts on TNC, or at least are steps ahead when building up to those full items. But the fact remains, Omega is still in the danger zone. They're still in the red. If they let go of this grasp that they have on the early game, TNC can punish so hard. Yeah, we're talking about how Omega is so good at coming back, swinging back, but they have also been known to have the tendency to let go.
Yeah. Like when they have this small lead. I mean, I think it's a 2K gold lead that they have right now. They've got that kill as well. So they're obviously setting the pace here, and they're so used to, I feel like, coming back in games that sometimes it's easy for it to slip out of their hands, right, when they actually have this control. And TNC has been in pretty much all situations. So like you mentioned, Leo, they have to be super careful not to let TNC kind of take over here.
Yeah, and that's why I still suggest what they're doing now. Just keep doing it. Go for a slower pace, play around Chaknu. Again, that would have been a beautiful pickoff. Didn't get it, but that was the right call to make at that situation. Now, the next thing we have to watch out for here are the power spikes of the marksman. Yasuo currently was already able to build the Endless Battle, and because of the pressure that Kellera experienced early on, he was forced to build the steel leg plates, and he hasn't full built yet the BOT. He does have the 2 swords. He just needs a little bit more gold to full build that. Once Kellera has that BOT, maybe we'll start seeing Omega turn up the pace a little bit, but still in a more controlled state. The BOD is what Kellera needs to be fully activated at this point in the game.
Speaking of Kellera, his tier 1 has been pushed in, so that's easier said than done, definitely. An engagement here, Chaknu stretching out.
Chaknu getting a stretch in, just giving the vision as well. SD, half health. Just got to be careful here. Now Ryzen joining the party. Ben things. A lot of this poke, but look, finally, a turret is taken out again here. Cram, gonna back off too.
Here's what I'm talking about. Omega, they know that they have priority on most engagements, but it seems like TNC is playing on a whole nother wavelength. TNC is playing the map.
Yeah.
TNC is thinking not of the late game, because you are going to lose that against Omega for many different reasons, but they are playing the mid-game spike.
And this is TNC respecting the team fighting capabilities here of Omega. They didn't even try to force something into getting that turtle. They gave it to Omega as well. Yes, it's the first 3 turtles of the game. The gold lead is starting to get a little bit out of hand, but it's close enough that TNC, as long as they can find a well-executed skirmish, then TNC can turn it around in their favor.
This is a tough thing.
Yeah, no. I was going to say that Lord is up next, and this may be where TNC turns it around, unless Omega, again, puts them in a position where they doubt themselves.
And at the same time, Escalera also just needs to land 1 major Abyssal Arrow. An Abyssal Arrow with the members of TNC close by enough to burst is going to be good enough. Chaknu charging it up.
Chaknu goes in once again, and Ben Thing's able to survive here. Turret's going to be worked on. They do want to get this turret down. They open up the map some more. Omega definitely does. Okay, they're going to get it there. So they finally get this one down. That's going to be huge. SD now going to be focused off out of his jungle, so he's not going to be able to get this purple buff either.
Operation Chokeout has begun. Now Omega, I can see it, I can feel it in the way that they're playing and what decisions they're making, is they know that they're 1 step closer into TNC's court, as you will. They're closer to eventually making that goal.
Yeah, now, you know, the thing is, too, with that big pickup from Yasuo, it's like, we haven't seen much because they're actually playing pretty smart here. That's going to be the way of the dragon, not going to be a followed up. Chaknu going to be okay. But again, this is TNC actually pacing very well considering their situation. So there's still a big threat here from TNC.
Abyssal Arrow, it needs to connect, but it needs to connect at a target that can be bursted down. And at this point, that's just mainly Kelra on the Beatrix. And now Omega, that steady pace can go much faster. And this is them speeding it up, trying to go for Escalera. But nope, no play there. They just give enough space so that they have control in the Lord Pit. Close to 9 minutes in, 3K, a gold lead for Omega.
Well, if you think about it, it's going better than game number 1 for Omega here. But now the Lord's going to be actually started. Cram trying to get some vision once again. He is on that Grok. Has the sprint available too. No arrow going to land just yet. Lord, less than half health. Who's going to be able to secure this one? There's the way of the dragon. It's going to be landed here. Chaknu could be in trouble. He does get the Timer's Rage out, but he's taken out here. That's one down for Omega. And the Lord's going to reset, but they respond. Kelra finds Yasuo.
The Filipino
them off.
savage. Wow. So the fact that he wasn't dying in game number 1 wasn't much of a difference, but now in game number 2, it seems to be the difference maker.
Escalera taken out here. Now this is the time for Omega to go ahead and start up the Lord. They should be able to have free reign on this, but in the jungle, also look at the zoning potential coming out from Renzio. This is going to be a nice, easy Lord for Omega.
Nothing. Omega played the roundabout way. They wanted to make sure that every single step was certain. They were not letting any cracks through. And eventually, they got their first big major objective and, yeah, pushed a few turrets along the way.
Now, Omega can just push with the Lord. They might be able to get a few inhibitors. If they don't, that's fine. They're already in control. They're playing faster, but still controlled. This is what I like about it. They've been playing at a steady pace all throughout, waiting for their specific power spikes to speed things up. And then in the moments where they speed up and find something, they slow it back down in a more controlled state. Omega definitely learned and adjusted from game number 1.
Oh, SD, you're in trouble, buddy! Ryzen finds SD and takes him down. And again, the Lord is still up. Gonna make its way up the top lane. The rest of Omega focusing around this side of the jungle. Ben Thing's gotta be careful. He's gonna get pushed out of the jungle. And now, the response for TNC's defense.
These little corners in the map, especially the jungle, are basically no man's land for TNC members. And now they're going to slowly get trapped in their base.